Hello, I'm Jenny Kay. Welcome to the Cold Hard Facts on Sex Habits. I've been getting a lot of emails and comments from women wanting to know if I would address the subject of why their husband doesn't want to have sex. Now you're probably thinking, well, some of you might be thinking, gee, my husband wants sex all the time. But there are a lot of women that are telling me that their husbands just don't want sex and they want to know why. So that's what we're going to discuss today. In my opinion, there's 4 main reasons why someone would not want to have sex or make love. The first one would be that your man is tired. He's exhausted. A lot of times women want to have a wonderful dinner with drinks on Friday night and then go out and make love afterwards. And by the end of the week, your man is exhausted. He has been working day in and day out and is just not interested in lovemaking after an exhausting week and late at night on a Friday, and especially after alcohol, which does slow things down anyway. So the first thing I would say is that being tired is something that happens when people work. In the Eastern philosophy, in the chakra energy lines, the work and the sexual energy come out of the same line. And I've often told people, when you think of times in your life that you were having a lot of sex, you probably weren't making as much money, and times that you were making a ton of money, you weren't having quite as much sex. We like to balance that, but if your man is working 8, 10, 12 hours a day, coming home exhausted, and then having other issues, maybe home issues or the kids or games or activities, and he's tired, he's not going to be in the mood to be making mad, passionate love with you like he was in the beginning. So being tired is a concern. I'm just really aware of men being more exhausted and feeling bad because they're not up to lovemaking. I've had a lot of people in my 35 years of counseling have told me their wives are ready to go at the end of the week and they're exhausted, but if their wives want to make love at 6 or 7 on Saturday or Sunday morning, they are more than ready because their body's rested. So do keep that in mind. The second reason why maybe a man wouldn't want to make love as much is if he's over 50, and I'm not saying 50 is the magic age, but somewhere between 50 and 60, depending on the man, their testosterone starts to wane, the production of it in their body, and they start to get a little low. You see all the T-shot clinics around. A lot of men go get T-shots. And I'm not recommending that. That does raise the blood pressure. And if you have any blood pressure issues, you definitely don't want to be doing that. But testosterone will, or I should say the lack of testosterone in a man's body will take down the urge to make love. And he finds satisfaction in doing other things, maybe spending more time in the garage or working on projects. But actually putting out the energy for lovemaking isn't something that's first in his mind. A lot of women think the reason their husbands don't want to make love is because they might be having an affair. Well, I really don't think that's the case. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but most of the time, men aren't looking for outside activity. They're not looking for a relationship outside of their marriage. They're not looking for an emotional attachment. They already have one. And they're really not looking for a mistress or someone to take up more time or energy. That's not what they're looking for. And so when a woman thinks, well, gee, they must, if they don't want to make love with me, they must be outside of the marriage having fun. Well, I really would highly doubt that. Like I said, I'm not saying it doesn't happen occasionally, but that's probably not the case. The one thing I think is probably more so than the other 3 items is that there is a condition called golden hand syndrome. When a man masturbates and takes care of himself on a regular basis, he trains his body over time to only respond to his hand. And so what happens is a lot of men will get busy at work and they'll be going on and on and on, and by the time they get home they're exhausted and they're really not in the mood to make love, but they still want that release. So a lot of times they'll go into their home office, maybe pull up porn. We know porn doesn't help. And with pornography, they will release with themselves. One of the reasons a lot of men will do this is because it's a lot easier and quicker to release with themselves than interact or deal with their wives. A lot of men have said that when they go home, their wives are wrapped up with the kids and the homework and different church functions, and they would rather just go in the back office, take care of it themselves, and come out with a smile and be relaxed. Well, if a man does that over and over and over, he will train his body to come with his own touch, and then when he does get inside of you, when you're making love, it'll be more difficult for him to come. He'll either end up going soft after the first few strokes, or he will end up pounding and pounding and pounding, and he really has to focus to release. And I've done a whole video series on golden hand syndrome. You may want to watch it. A lot of women have told me that they now know what golden hand syndrome is, and it has been something that has been debilitating in their relationship because the golden hand syndrome has taken over. Their men are not able to perform like they used to. They have a lot of anxiety about performing with their wives since they know their body is trained to only respond to their touch, so that even encourages them more to not have sex with their wives because they're worried about performance. They have anxiety and they don't want to interact with their wives and end up having to answer questions as to why they can't stay hard or get hard or release. So they would rather just take care of it themselves. And golden hand syndrome has been a big problem. It's also right in line with golden vibrator syndrome. A lot of women will go ahead and use a vibrator for pleasure instead of making love with their man because it's easy, it's quick, it feels great, and then they slowly over time get hooked on a vibrator, and then he's doing his porn and masturbating, and then you're doing the vibrator, and two separate lives are being led, and that's really not what we want. I think one thing that a lot of couples do is they get wrapped up in the children's schedule and they don't take the time to talk and they don't take the time to communicate and check out each other's needs. I've often suggested to couples that they get a candle and put it in the bedroom, and maybe when she's in the mood, she can light the candle. And that doesn't mean you're in the mood always for, crazy, wild, wonderful sex. It could be just a little extra cuddling or touching. Or if he's in the mood, then he could light the candle. And even though the kids are running through the rest of the house with their homework and doing this and that, if that candle has been lit and you smell that scent kind of throughout the bedroom and the lower level of the house or wherever you are, you kind of have the idea that a little intimacy must take place, or it needs to take place, and that your partner is reaching out. And the candle method has worked for a lot of people. I've had a lot of couples come back and say, I really like using the candle. So that's something to think about. Another thing that you might want to think about is maybe go get a special outfit, something in lingerie that's fun, and make it fun and sexy for you. You want it to feel good on you, and you just go buy something fun. And one thing that a lot of women think is that their husbands don't want to make love because maybe they've added a few pounds or they're a little bit older. let me tell you, that really has nothing to do with it. You know, when a man loves you, if you've got an extra 5 or 10 pounds on you, you know, it makes basically no difference. They really, the 5 or 10 pounds, they don't care. Now, if you've gained 150 pounds, then you're not feeling quite as frisky as you used to, and they're going to notice that. But it's not about our ages, or it's not about our extra few pounds. It's more about the person that you're with really loves you, but they're either exhausted, or their testosterone's down, or they, you know, they're in a situation where they just are so exhausted every night that when they come home, they would rather just crash or go into the back room with porn, take care of it themselves, get it over quick and easy. That is the selfish way, we know that. But they're really not looking for the outside person, but they really do need that release, so they will take care of themselves. Another way to let your husband know that you love him and that you're interested in being close and being intimate is go back to some of the things you used to do when you first met. Maybe when you first met, you used to leave each other Post-it notes all over the house, or maybe when he opens up his medicine cabinet in the bathroom, you could leave a little love note in there, you know, telling him that you can't wait to feel his strong arms around you again, or, you know, give him little love notes, give him words of encouragement. He needs that. And, you know, if you always had a habit that you enjoyed when you were first together, pick it up again and start doing some of those things that you did when you were first together to remind him of how much you love him and how much you understand that, you know, time has passed, but you want to be close, you want to be intimate, and I believe that's going to make a huge difference. Well, if you've learned anything today, I am very happy. I'd like you to subscribe to my channel because I put out a weekly video every Friday on things that most people don't talk about, and learning just a little bit here and there does help us in our relationships. So please subscribe, and if you like this video, click on the like button, and please share it with all you know. We're here to take care of each other, and I wish you blessings tenfold. Have a great day. Bye-bye.